Hi everybody, welcome to All Games New and Old. I'm David Rodriguez, and today I'm going to be reviewing Abandon All Artichokes. Comes in this cool little tin. This was put out in 2020 from Gamewright Games, and it's designed by Larkins. Now this is for ages 10 and up, and I'm reading the back as you can tell. It plays for 20 minutes for 2 to 4 players. Now, I'm a big fan of deck building games. I'm going to say it's probably my favorite mechanic. This promises to be a deck destruction game, and I'll go into that a little bit later, what that means. But in order to talk about the theme, I have a really unusual guest today. I actually have an artichoke. Take it away, Annie.
Hello, I'm Annie the Artichoke. In this game, Abandon All Artichokes, you use vegetables that you do want to help you compost useless artichokes. Wait, what?
Oh, Annie, don't worry. I think they just named it that as sort of a joke. I mean, I personally love artichokes. They're fantastic.
The sad fact is, millions of artichokes are abandoned each year.
Oh, wow, Annie. I'm so sorry. I had no idea it was such a big problem.
I wouldn't abandon you. Why would you abandon me? We're not just some veggies that you get stuck with. The Artichoke clan ain't nothing to fuck.
Whoa, Annie. Oh my gosh. Okay, wow. You can't, this is a family-friendly channel, and it's a family-friendly game. You can't say those. Okay. All right. No, it's okay. You know what? I'll tell you more about this game. Actually, you know what? The theme is not super integral to this game, so I think the best way I can show you about it is to take you right to the gameplay video. So let me get that going for you. Okay, I have this all set up to play a game. I'm just going to show one player. It doesn't have one player mode, but there's not really a reason to set up multiple players to show you this. I have 10 artichoke cards to start with. Everyone's going to start with that, and I'm going to draw 5 of them into my hand. So everyone will start with a hand of 5 artichokes in their hand. And basically what you're trying to do in the game is you're trying to get rid of as many artichokes as you can. And I'll get to the win condition on that shortly. We have the garden row up here. So here's the deck of all the other possible vegetables. It's all been shuffled. And then we have various different vegetables here in the garden row. This area here will be used for composted cards or vegetables, which are basically out of the game. This is where you want your artichokes to end up. So there are 5 steps to your turn. On your turn, you're first going to replenish the garden row because every round something's going to get taken. So if there was an empty spot, you would just take the top card, put it back there at the beginning of your turn. Then you're going to harvest one of the face-up cards from the garden row into your hand. So any one of these, whichever one looks best to you, you're going to take it. So right now I'll take the carrot. That's an especially good card. I'm going to put that right into my hand with the artichokes. Then you can play any number of cards from your hand as long as you have whatever it takes to do so. Now you can't just play an artichoke on its own. The other veggies will let you play an artichoke. Right now I have the carrot. So it says, as your only play action, compost exactly 2 artichokes along with this card. And it's important that says exactly 2. If you only had 1 in your hand, you couldn't compost it. You have to be able to meet everything that the card says it wants you to do. So I could take this one, and I could compost 2 artichokes and put that over here. And that way I've gotten rid of a couple artichokes from my deck, which is great. Then, after I've played all the cards I can, I'm going to discard all my unplayed or unplayable cards into my discard pile. So I usually put that over here kind of to the left of my deck, and that is face up. And then you're going to draw 5 more cards from your deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now the way you win is if you are the first person to draw your 5 cards at the end of your turn and you don't have a single artichoke in it, you've won the game. So it's really that simple. All the complexity comes with what the different vegetables do. So I'll kind of show you what they do. I already showed you the carrot. Carrot's a very powerful card. The pepper, it says put a card from your discard pile on top of your deck. Pretty useful. The leek says reveal the top card of an opponent's deck. Put it into your hand or on top of their discard pile. That could be useful. The onion, compost an artichoke. Put this card on top of another player's discard pile. That one's interesting because it lets you get rid of an artichoke, but it's also going to let your opponent get rid of one. So you need to be kind of careful about that. The peas Reveal 2 cards from the garden stack. Put one on your discard pile, the other on an opponent's. So that's kind of interesting because you can you have to basically give your opponent something in order to get something. There's also the beat. You and an opponent each reveal a random card. Compost both of artichokes, otherwise swap them. Okay, the broccoli says compost an artichoke if your hand has 3 or more artichokes. That's really great, especially early on, because you will have a lot of artichokes early on. The corn says play this card with an artichoke, then put a card from the garden row on top of your deck. That's a great way to get cards. Am I cycling back? No, not the guy. No, okay. The potato, reveal the top card of your deck. Compost if artichoke, otherwise discard it. The eggplant, compost an artichoke along with this card. All players pass 2 cards to the left. That one's kind of interesting. You have to decide if you really want to do that or not. And I think now we're kind of going over again. So that's all the different cards that are available to you. And that's how the game is played. Really very simple, easy to teach, and for what it's worth, I love these crazy faces on the artichokes. There's several different faces you can get. They're all funny to me. So anyway, I'm going to go on to our final thoughts. All right, I hope that gameplay overview was useful to you. Now we're going to talk about our final thoughts about the game, starting with the art. I think the art is just really adorable. I mean, the art of the vegetables all looks good, and then they've given them cutesy faces, and it's just cute. You know, I think this is meant to be a family-friendly game, and the art style, I think, really lends itself to that.
Yeah, the art's cute. It kind of reminds me of a mix between, like, VeggieTales and, like, the Hungry Caterpillar.
Oh.
With the veggies being kind of human-like and...
Can I say I would love to see a crossover between VeggieTales and Hungry Caterpillar, and Hungry Caterpillar just eats them all. Sorry, that was dark, but it would be kind of funny. Come on, think about it. It's hilarious. Anyway. Okay. Wow, off track. All right.
The components, I think, are really good for what it is. It's a card game, so the cards are nice, decent card stock that they're easy to shuffle, so... And I think the 10's cute. I know for putting it away, it might be, since it's an odd shape, it might be harder to find room on your game shelf, but it's a cute little tin and ties in with the theme.
Yeah, I know some people just are not a fan of tins in general. I think, if you're just trying to make it integrate with this stuff, it's not probably going to work. But the nice thing is you can kind of stick that anywhere, and it might even be a little conversation starter. You might get people to play the game that, maybe weren't even coming over to play games. You never know. The theme on this one it's pretty loose. I mean, it's supposed to be that your garden's getting overrun by artichokes and something use vegetables to compost them, basically. Not a very theme-heavy game, and I usually I vastly prefer games with a theme, and it does have a theme, and it's enough for me that it's fine. If it's like purely like get gray square to purple triangle on grid, blah, boring. But this is not that. At least it has something. At least it has cute pictures to look at. So I can't complain about that too much. And it's a short game, so I don't necessarily feel like I need to get wrapped up in a movie scene in my head for something this short anyway. So, what do you think?
I'm less concerned about the theme of the game. For me, it's more about the gameplay. I know we've talked about this before, but it's like, I grew up playing card games like poker, hearts, spades. He didn't, so for me, it's just the mechanics of the game are more important to me than the theme. There is a theme. It's pretty loosely based. It could be anything. So, but it's a cute little theme that's different than other games that I've seen out there. So.
Yeah, it might be a real long shot. I keep hoping that maybe if you play this with your kids, they'll be like, oh, beets are cute. Let's have a beet. It's a real long shot.
Good luck.
I know. I'm like, come on, there has to be something that'll work. Anyway, whatever. Anyway, I just wanted to intercede with that.
It's a really nice, simple, easy to learn game, and it's a quick game. So it's really great for, just a quick pickup game. If you're, it's a good unwinding game. Like if you just want to play a quick game after dinner or in between games if you're at game night. I really enjoy games that I can take to a restaurant. So if there's a long wait for our food, we can, try and keep kids entertained while we're waiting, and I think this would be a good game for that as well.
Yeah, I totally agree. And deck building is probably my favorite mechanic out there. And this game, I mean, most deck building games, you start with a very basic hand, and you're trying to part of what you're trying to do, I should say, is get those weaker cards out of your hand so you can get more powerful cards so you can get something else accomplished. And this kind of stops it right at get the weaker cards out of your hand. Like, that's what this game is. It's that one part of a deck building game, which, that combined with the fact that there's no currency, like, you don't have to buy the cards out of the marketplace, or in this case, the garden row. You just get one every turn. If you had told me that was how a deck builder was going to be, I would have thought, oh, that's not going to work. That's ridiculous. Like, you got to have all these things, and if you have like 18 currencies on that card, all the better. That's too many. Don't do that, please. Never do that. Don't. But it works. It's really good. I mean, it's not meant to be this big hefty game that takes you an hour and a half to play. It's a game that takes you maybe 20 minutes to play, and it really succeeds at that. And I really, really enjoy it, even though it doesn't have as many complexity bells and whistles. Complexity bells? Complexity bells. Anyway, I'm going with it. Complexity bells and whistles. It doesn't have nearly as many as other deck building games that I love, but it's a good, like, little bite-sized deck building game that is easy to use to introduce, kids or family or friends that don't necessarily play a lot of games to the concept of deck building. So, final scores, I guess. Mm-hmm. So, I'm going to give this game an 8. I think, I'm partial to deck builders in general, and this one really wowed me, actually. Not knowing what to expect and not sure if I'd like a deck building game this light, it's really fun. I just like it a lot. And I like the idea that this is something that I can use to indoctrinate the children into playing heftier deck building games. We can go, I can go from this down to one a little tougher and eventually work my way up to something really complicated. Perhaps, maybe. I don't know. But I think it's great. I think the art's really cool. I think it's just an overall really good package, and I think it's more than worth the cost for it. It's not a super expensive game. If you like deck builders, and if you like playing with people that maybe aren't super familiar with that concept, it belongs in your collection, I think.
For what it is, I'm also going to give it an 8. I think if you're looking for a light game that's easy to teach and quick to play, this is a great game to pick up. Like I said, it's really, I can see this being a game that I just kind of keep in my purse or backpack, and when we're waiting on something, pull it out and just play it for a little bit to occupy some time.
Absolutely. That's it. 8s for both of us.
Yeah.
That's pretty darn good. So I hope you found this review helpful. If you did, please hit like and subscribe and click the little bell icon so you can know the next time I put a video out. Other than that, until next time, we look forward to seeing you all around the table again at All Games New and Old. Bye. Leaf type things and dip it in lemony butter and like scrape the meat off with my teeth and then eventually cut apart the heart and eat it. Annie, are you okay? Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? But I guess it puts it right in the ear, doesn't it? That makes it worse. I was trying to make it better and I forgot how things work. This is gonna fall off like 10 times while you're... How'd you do that? Oh, I see. I see here. Stay gaming and don't get murdered. Just stay sexy and don't not play games. I'll work on it.
You're trying too hard.